have enough points on a Starbucks thing. Every once in a blue moon I get gift cards, and I used it for a challenge, and I met the challenge, so I have enough points to get a free pastry. So I thought about getting one this morning, even though I've been doing my fruit smoothie thing religiously. I would do both. As long as I get in the fruit, it's about getting in foods that the body needs. But I needed to treat myself. I don't do vacations or anything, so that's my little treat. So that is Columbus Boulevard, or Delaware Avenue. There's two names, and north-south, but that direction is south. So if you wanted to go down to Delaware, then ultimately Maryland, DC, that's the road you would take. Although Delaware Avenue, you would have to eventually, does it turn into I-95 automatically? I haven't driven in so long that I kind of forget, but basically you want to be on I-95. And I forget if Columbus Boulevard, if it doesn't, then it's really easy. You just you almost might be forced onto I-95. And I-95, of course, is the major corridor on the East Coast, getting up and down the United States, on the east side. From Bowie to from Maine. I think I-95 is available all the way up there. I'm just used to it always being here in the Mid-Atlantic region. And, you know, when we were kids, we would visit our grandmother and aunt and everything down in Florida, and we just drove I-95. On very rare, like 2 occasions we flew down, and it would be Eastern Airlines. That was when I was younger. But for a couple summers we drove down, 2 or 3 summers, 4, I forget. I always loved going to my grandmother's house. It always felt safe there. It was free of of course vacations always feel that way, and it's fun, you know, but it was free of the pressures or the stresses, whatever came with Delaware. And to be around your kin, to feel that supported, like really my mom, sister, and I felt very alone. My sister found some friends, you know, and people she was a little bit better that way, if you will, but you know, it's always good to have family around to feel extra supported. You know, my parents divorced, and my dad lived with his second wife and her 2 kids. And in a way, you know, I think my mom it would have been good if she had more of a support system around her in terms of family and kin. But alas, that would not be. I loved visiting my mom, and the aroma in her trailer, it was like a little trailer. My aunt had a nicer home. They had an in-ground pool, lived on a canal, this, that, and the other. But the trailer, she used a specific laundry detergent, like powder. Back then you only had powder. This is going way back. And it had a special aroma and always smelled really good. Specifically in the area where the laundry was. It was like part of the back bedroom. And I loved that aroma. And I recently purchased Tide powder, laundry detergent, to see if I could redo that same, whatever it was, you know, aroma of my mum. We call her mum. So that's part of Old City. We were walking down that way south on the street down there and a couple videos ago. So it seems like the rain might have somewhat stopped. What are we doing? We always do markets, so we're gonna do, that's Penn's Landing. We will do Paula, and I can do a little trip this way. I still consider this Old City on the south side of Market, so we're officially on the south side of Market. I've eaten in that Continental 2 or 3 times in my 20 years here, and only twice. I don't remember. Anyway, so we're walking towards Society Hill, the 2 high-rise condo buildings down there. There's really 3, I believe, but you can see 2 from here. That's part of Society Hill. But this section, I consider this section still Old City. Old City just sits right around Market, north and south of Market, at front, first, second, third is how I would see that. So Insomnia Cookie is down here. Here. The Ton. So I have a cousin who I talked about earlier. His son passed away tragically in a car accident. He wanted to see this Ton Tavern. It's part of American history, and he was a Marine, and for some reason there's a connection with the Marines, I think, to the Ton Tavern for some reason. Sorry, with the umbrella, I'm trying to avoid getting too wet while maintaining a pretty good view. The rain is all over the place. It's Pride weekend. I don't know if the rain's gonna keep up. I don't know if the rain's gonna keep up. You know, all day, but today there were some festivities like a Duck March, DYKE. Is that how you spell it? Right. And other things going on. Tomorrow is the big day. That would be the march. It used to be a parade, but now it's a march. Isn't that neat, this big umbrella? Is this Plow the Stars still, or are they? Yeah, the plow. It's this Plow the Stars is. Anyway. Tomorrow is the march. After the pandemic, it became the march. Oh, there's a tree there across the street. You might not know this yet. Hey, birds. Soggy bread. So in the past, the Pride Parade would be like floats of all the various, say, like teams or theater acts or special groups in the neighborhood. And it was a good old grand time, you know, like music, people had, you know, a little bit humorous, people did flag twirling bands, but it became a march. That's more of a protest, even though the laws have already been passed. So, but I'm not sure why they decided to go with a march as opposed to, you know, the Pride Parade is about celebrating happiness, acceptance. So I think there are a lot of people who sort of gave up on the parade because they're tired of just seriousness and legalities. A lot of laws have already been passed for the LGBT community, so it looks like, more than anything, it looks like this got too wet and it was uprooted here at Gold Ollier building, Gold Ollier. Gold Dollar. It's almost like Gold Dollar, but it's one D. So this is a big deal. I guess I'm early enough where no one's out. I'm surprised no one said anything yet. I'm surprised that it's not. I'm wondering who noticed, who's called. I'm sure I'm not the first one to notice this. And no cars have come up here. That's highly unusual. Might take them a while to get an arburator in, or whoever would have to fix that.